I made these two boards from a box of wood I ordered from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description, but stick around and I'll show you how I made them. First thing I'm going to do is mill all these. So as you can see, this guy's actually got a gap here. Clearly see it. That's where my glue line will end up. Put it through the jointer and get rid of that. No more gap. Now I just mark which edge I jointed with an arrow. Checking the faces now that need to be milled. Okay, I found 4 pieces that does not need to be milled on the face. The rest, absolutely. Okay, just got done milling all these over at the jointer. Did one edge and one face, and I marked here which edge and which face I did. All but 3 of them needed to be jointed on the edge, and all but just a couple needed it on the face. But most of them just required one pass through the jointer, so all in all, not too bad. There's only one piece that's really questionable. It's got a pretty gummed up face, so I set that off to the side. Maybe I can use this as a piece of scrap I can use for runners on the table saw or something. All these others will glue up nicely. Some nice glue lines now. So now I'll use a jointed edge to go up against my fence and cut the other edge with my table saw. Make sure it's all square. Again, I'll put the jointed end down, mark it with a pencil. See if I'm taking off too much. Putting these together with the jointed ends, the glue lines are going to look real good. What I'm going to do is cut some cherry down, and I'm going to cut some of this maple down too. I have to leave this 12.5 inches, so I'll go through my planer. So let me make some cuts on the table saw, and then I'll get a better idea how I want to put this together. Let me line it up right at the curve. I'll put this maple that I want it to be same thickness. Line that up. Lock it in place. Now I just move the fence over. That should cut it the same width. Make another cut, same width. Very nice. So this is where my mindset was going, cutting these small strips, a maple on the outside that's walnut, and then the walnuts around the maple. And this is about right around 13 inches. 12 3/4, as long as it's under 13, go through my planer. And I won't get these all tight yet. Get my other 2 clamps on there. Then I'll tighten everything a little bit at a time. Okay, I'll be back in 45 minutes to check on that. Okay, it's been 1 hour. I'm just going to scrape off glue so I don't have to deal with it. Glue lines look good. It'll look a lot better when I get it planed and then sanded. Oh yeah, I like it. I put this edge down and do the back side. Looking pretty good. I'm going to make sure this is up against my crosscut sled again. That way I know that these sides will be screwed to this. There we go. Okay, now it's time to sand. And I'll start with 120. The planer did a pretty good job of making this nice and smooth. So I'll do 120, 180, and then 220. I get started on that. And I'll do my pencil across here, make sure I get everything nice and smooth. Okay, just got done 220 on both sides. Ooh, that feels nice and smooth. Yeah, that feels great. Now I'm going to raise the grain by spraying water on it. Ooh, that looks nice. Gives me a chance to see what it's going to look like when I get it finished. Now I'll let that dry, come back and sand it again. Definitely raise the grain. You can feels like before I even sanded. So I'm going to hit it again with 220. So now it's to the most nerve-wracking portion of it is putting a round over on the board. Get this far and have it eat a chunk out of the side of your board is no fun. So what I like to do is run a piece of scrap through, make sure it's good. I like the round over, and then I'll take the board over here and redo it. So let me run this piece of scrap through first. Okay, I like that profile. Bring the board over. Yikes. That looks pretty good. I did make a mistake and got a chip blown out like a router bit. Dang. But this will probably stay my board, so no big deal. I'm going to have this as a downside. Yeah, every time I look at it, though, it tells a story for sure. Time to put some mineral oil on, and I'll let that soak in overnight. I won't soak it in mineral oil, I'll let it sit on top of it at least. Do the bottom first. So I'll just let that soak. I'll make sure there's no dry spots in an hour. And if there's not, I'll just let it soak overnight and come back in the morning and do my beeswax and mineral oil coating. Okay, this guy's been sitting overnight. Still has a little bit of mineral oil on it. That's good. Oh man, that just turned out beautifully. I did have a chip out right here in the router, and I had considered cutting that part off. It's going to stay hours. It's not like I'm selling this, so I'll just leave it in there. The glue lines look fantastic. So now all I have to do is put my blend of beeswax and mineral oil on it. Put a link above to how to make this. I'm going to put it on both sides. Then I'll put little rubber feet on the bottom. So I'm on the bottom side of the cutting board. I'm going to put feet on it. I got a whole bunch of them from Amazon. Put a link in the description below. And all I did was I went an inch and a quarter mark. Well, I had the other board clamped up. I arranged these boards, and then as soon as that came out of the clamps, I clamped this up. So we'll see how this one turned out. This is the second one I've made out of that box of wood from Amazon. If you do two boards at once, I'll definitely need to get more clamps. So I'll get busy on doing the same thing to this board that I did to my last one. Then I'll show you them both and what wood I had left over from that box. This is what's left over from the box of wood. So there's plenty of wood to make two cutting boards with a lot left over for another project. The only thing is the colors are different. Just rearranged the species of wood, and I routed this one with a chamfer bit instead of a roundover. Not sure which one you guys like, but I kind of prefer the chamfer. So I think the future boards will have this edge detail on it. Let me know in the comments which one you like, which edge detail you prefer. I'd appreciate your feedback, so thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe below. I appreciate the support.